for the few people that have joined.
There she is.
There we go. So roll call, please.
Mayor Gary,
Here.
Commissioner Baker,
Here.
Commissioner Baspas Rath, Commissioner Collins,
Here.
Commissioner Miller,
He's here. I heard him in the hallway.
okay, Commissioner Talentino,
Here.
Commissioner Twardy.
Here.
Everybody is here. Thank you very much for joining the meeting. So if we could, oh, there we go. Commissioner Miller's square has the U.S. flag. So if we could stand and join each other in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which
it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Item number, or item 4, mayor comments and general announcements. I think we, at the last meeting, had said that we as a city commission and city administration and city staff sure appreciate all of the efforts of everybody during this pandemic, and especially health officials and everybody that is an essential employee. Everybody in the community is doing a great job at following the rules of social distancing. And we really can't say a whole lot that hasn't been said before, but thank you very much. We appreciate it as a community, and we hope that this will be over sooner than later. On behalf of the City Commission and City Administration, we would like to send our sincerest condolences to the family of Bev McCready. Bev was a long-time volunteer in the city of Sault Ste. Marie, and she was on the Zoning Board of Appeals for a long time, and she leaves behind a husband and daughter. And those of us that knew her knew that she was a very genuine and sincerely nice person, and she'll be missed, and our condolences are with you, McCready family. Moving on to item B, proclamations and recognitions. There are none this evening. And item C, public comment. Is there anybody online that would like to make any comments on any of the agenda items that we have up for discussion this evening? Anybody? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to item D, is the consent agenda. Deputy City Manager Robin Faceless Troyer.
Under the consent agenda, 1, approval of the City Commission meeting minutes of April 6, 2020. Item 2, sponsorship from Osborne Trust Operating Fund for the 71st Annual Upper Peninsula History Conference. And item 3 is approval of the consent agenda items as presented.
Well, that was quick. Is any commissioner like anything further explained or removed from the agenda? Commissioner Twardy.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Support.
It has been moved and supported. Any questions or comments? Could we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Gary,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker,
Yes.
Commissioner Baspas Rath,
Yes.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller, Commissioner Miller.
I just heard him yell yes again.
Okay, Commissioner Talentino,
Yes.
Commissioner Twardy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion passed. The consent agenda is approved. Thank you. Item E is special orders of business, and tonight we have none. Item F is communications. Tonight we have none. Moving on to item G, which is business items. First one for our consideration, City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just before we start, Commissioner Miller, can you hear us? Darn it. Hold on a second. His audio isn't working. I hear you, but I don't even know what to do. Unmute. Try again, Shane.
Does he have it on mute?
No, he's unmuted. I unmuted him on
He
this
might-
side.
He might have his button on his Surface Pro, the mic turned off. Might be the issue.
How do you turn that back on? Do you know?
There would be a button, one of the keyboard strokes. I'm not sure. I don't have the Surface in front of me, but it'd be a keyboard issue that he would push, like a volume type thing.
It's going to be fourth from the left on the top.
Thank you.
Oh, F3. Yeah.
It'd be Control F3, I think, wouldn't it?
Yep, Control F3.
I wish I was there.
All right, hold on. I'm just gonna take a second, a quick rundown there real quick. Sorry.
Keep 6 feet.
Nasty out there.
Adam. Good job, Commissioner Miller. Can you hear us, City Manager? Test, test, test.
Can Shane go in the office with the city manager and keep his distance and vote that way?
I'm wondering if when he logged in, if he didn't use his computer audio, you know, when you click that.
That could be it too.
Probably has to reboot it.
For anybody watching, yes, we are in the middle of the meeting. We're just trying to figure out some technical difficulties.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So I'm just gonna set him up real quick again. All right, there you go. We're all set. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Don't touch any
Oh my
buttons,
God.
Commissioner. We hear you.
Okay.
This is a button-free environment now, Shane.
Went fine at the closed meeting. I don't know what happened.
All right, I apologize. What are we on now? Business items. All right, Mr. Mayor, I apologize for that. Thank you for your patience. First off, for commission consideration is a contract with MDOT for a mill and overlay on Hyde Street to Industrial Drive. This is a small urban project that has been planned for already. This would execute the contract, would allow Dave and or I to execute the contract, and has a bid letting for the summer and construction for later this summer. So we would look for a motion and support for approval to execute the contract.
Okay, and again, I'll go through the roll call to see if any of the commissioners have any questions or comments. So Commissioner Baker, do you have any questions or comments on this item?
No, sir.
Commissioner Bosbus Rath,
No, thank you.
Commissioner Collins,
No, thanks.
Commissioner Miller,
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Commissioner Talentino,
No, thank you.
and Commissioner Tuardi.
No, thank you.
So would anybody like to make a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Commissioner Collins has made the motion. Is there a second?
Support.
Been moved and supported. Are there any questions or comments? We have a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Yes.
Commissioner Vasquez Rath,
Yes.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Talentino,
Yes.
Commissioner Twardy,
Yes.
Mayor Gary.
Yes. Thank you. Motion has passed. City Manager, under G, business items, number 2, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For consideration is a request from the city clerk's office to relocate the city polling locations for the August and therefore future elections into one super location. While this item has the appearance of a COVID response, it was actually something in the works prior to a global pandemic, but certainly plays well into it now. It would be consolidating the 3 locations into one super location. The groundwork has already been put in place with LSSU. There's a nominal fee that they're charging us, and then rose to the limit or rose to the level of the city commission. We would need your approval to do this. So staff would look for a motion and approval to consolidate locations into a super voting precinct located at LSSU Student Athletics Center.
Thank you, City Manager. Commissioner Vasquez Rath, any questions or comments for the City Manager?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
Commissioner Collins?
Yeah, so this is something that they actually brought to us as a request.
This is something your city clerk is bringing forward to you. So as the city clerk, she's responsible for all the elections within the city. Currently, there's 3 polling sites. 2 of them, I believe, are churches, and they're not conducive to facilitate voting in the sense of getting people in and out in an orderly fashion. So with this consolidation, we'll actually be able to staff it with a little bit less people. We'll be able to ensure that the flow and the process is moving along a lot better. So it's not a request from LSSU, it's a request from staff and I to move it to LSSU.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks for the question. Commissioner Miller, any questions or comments?
This will stay like this then?
Correct.
Thank you.
Commissioner
Totally changed.
Talentino?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, I think this is a great idea. I think this will really simplify the whole process. You know, it's going to really help out the Robin as far as running around to different precincts, different areas. I just think it's a great idea.
Thank you. Good comments. Commissioner Twardy?
Does it save the city taxpayers any money at all?
There will be some savings. Yeah, nothing to necessarily beat the drum on, but there will be a savings.
Little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Good question. Commissioner Baker, any questions or comments?
No, again, just a great idea. I think it's great.
Commissioner Baker, would you like to make the motion?
Sure. Make a motion to authorize the change in city polling locations from 3 individual precincts to a super voting precinct located at Lake Superior State University Student Athletic Center.
Support.
It has been moved and supported. Are there any questions or comments prior to the vote? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vasquez Rath,
Yes.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Talentino,
Yes.
Commissioner Twardy,
Yes.
Mayor Gary,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker.
Yes.
Motion passed. Thank you very much. City Manager, item G, business items, number 3, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For commission consideration is a request from staff to sign a letter of agreement or a letter of engagement, excuse me, with Jack Van Hoovering of Foster Swift to handle the ongoing Goodwill or Myers Company versus City of Sault Ste. Marie tax tribunal case. As you guys are all aware, this is a tax tribunal case in which Meyer is seeking to lower the assessment value of their facility within Sault Ste. Marie. The loss in revenue on a tax basis, if we were to not carry this forward, would be roughly $170,000 a year. So we've been working on this quite a bit. We'd like to carry it forward. Mr. Van Covering has a lot of experience in handling cases like this, and we would look for a motion of support to sign the letter agreement.
Thank you, City Manager. Commissioner Collins, do you have any questions or comments on this item?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Miller, any questions or comments?
In the motion, I don't see the name of the company or Jack's name in here. Shouldn't that be in there?
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
The motion just looks a little ambiguous.
Yeah, that's true. So if you want to just amend the motion to include his name or even Foster Swift as his firm, that would work. Or you could even make a motion to approve the letter of engagement as presented. That would work as well.
Okay, let's go around the table first here. Commissioner Talentino, any questions or comments?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Commissioner Tuorty?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Baker?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Bosbus Rath?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Miller, would you like to make the motion?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. I move to authorize the city manager to execute the engagement for tax representation with Foster Swift for services in connection with Goodwill Company Incorporated, Meyer versus City of Sault Ste. Marie.
Support.
Support.
It has been moved and supported. Are there any questions or comments for the city manager? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Talentino,
Yes.
Commissioner Tuorty,
Yes.
Mayor Gary,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker,
Yes.
Commissioner Bosbus Rath.
Yes.
Motion is passed. Thank you. We now have a legal counsel to support the suit from Meyer. City manager announcements and updates, which is item H. City manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for commission, or no, not consideration. As an update, so as I've been communicating to you guys, we've completed a draft budget. It's a draft budget in the most sense that it's a draft, and we still need to make some adjustments on it. Typically, the process would be you would receive it on the third Monday of April per the charter. We had meetings set up in person to discuss it and go over it next week. If you recall, in our last meeting, we talked about pushing those off. The stay-at-home orders look like they will be repealed a little bit in May, so we'll be able to have these meetings. There's still time moving forward. There's a little bit of a clock, but nothing that we can't work with. So as we get closer to May, we will start scheduling those meetings and communicate those and get you all scheduled for that. But you know, the meeting and this process that we have right now is going to allow us a little bit more time to go into the budget as well. As I previously communicated to you guys, the budget is rough. It was rough before COVID happened. And now with the economy coming to a grinding halt, there are several significant revenue streams that we have coming in that will take a hit. And it's just a matter of how big of a hit they'll take. It's still early in terms of being able to estimate how big of a hit. I've seen everything from Jake H just came on, he's being a little noisy. I've seen a few things ranging from 20 to 40%. It just depends how much longer this lasts and what kind of habits people get back into once it's clear. The state shared revenue system has been taking hits throughout the last decade or so, and we never really recovered from the Great Recession. And now we're going to roll into another time that's going to be difficult. So there are some pretty hefty cuts that we had to make in order to balance the budget for your consideration. And we look forward to having those conversations with you guys tonight. For tonight, you're just receiving the budget. We can get you a paper copy if you prefer a paper copy of it. We'd be happy to facilitate that for you. But we'll set those meetings for the beginning of May as soon as we can. Once we get the all clear from the governor, we can start doing that. So if you have any questions in the meantime, please, if you could ask them ahead of time and I get you the information, that would be better for our discussions. But like I said, it was a tough budget to kind of build, and it's going to be a continuing tough budget as we move forward. So if you have any questions on that as we move forward, by all means, feel free to reach out to me. But other than that, one update that I don't have on here directly related to COVID. We had a staff meeting Friday with everyone, all the employees. We did it via Zoom, just like our meeting tonight. It was fairly well received. Staff is anxious to get back to work. I think being at home is kind of taking a toll on all of us. The message to them is the message I communicated to you guys. We're anticipating a return to work May 4th. There will probably be some changes, best practices that we'll have to put into place when people come back, face masks, soap, heavy cleaning, stuff like that. But everyone's ready to come back to work. We'll probably start filtering in a few people here and there, just to try to catch up on some of the public works and the kind of field services that we have going on. So that's really the updates I have for you guys right now. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, City Manager. We certainly appreciate all the work that you and Kristen Collins and Robin Troyer and the rest of the administration have put into this budget. It's scary. I've talked to a couple of other commissioners from other communities and the mayor of other communities, and we're all in the same boat. And nobody knows what the revenue stream will be because of this COVID crisis. And it's just a best guess scenario. So we appreciate all the time and effort you put into it. And we'll hopefully know a little bit more down the road. And as you said, if we have any questions or comments in regard to this budget as presented, we will forward them to you so that we can hash them out at some future meetings. So I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments about the process, but as City Manager said, we're just being presented the budget tonight, and we will certainly have discussion points later on. So I'll go through the roll call again. Commissioner Miller, do you have any questions or comments on this item?
Brian, I think we talked before the meeting started about you getting me a paper copy of it. Okay.
Yep, we'll get you a paper copy.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman.
Commissioner Talentino, any questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Baker, any questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Bosbus-Rath, any questions or comments?
I'm good, thank you.
Commissioner Collins, any questions or comments?
Yeah. City Manager, do you want us to reach out to you individually with questions, or should we wait till we meet to ask our questions?
Either or. If you have what you may think is a bigger question, the more time that we have to run some kind of analysis, whether it be financial or just from a program standpoint, then the better is what I would say. So if you have something, feel free to email me or call me, wherever you want.
Okay. I just didn't know if you wanted it to come from, like, instead of getting repeat questions from everybody, like, let's say Don and I have the same question, right? So.
Yep. Nope, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. So we don't need to take any action on that. So moving into I, matters presented by the public. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to discuss anything with the commission at this time?
The prison population have tested positive, and it's considered one of the largest virus sources in the country right now.
Somebody's got the news on in the background. Mr. Gage, did you have anything you wanted to say? I see you lit up for a second there.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, going once, going twice. Anybody have any questions or comments from the audience? Hearing none, we'll move on to item J, matters that are presented by the City Commission. City Commissioners, any questions or comments? Commissioner Bosbus-Rath.
Thank you, Mayor Gary. I just have a reminder. There is a virtual shopping night this Thursday put on by the DDA. I don't have a whole lot of information, but I think it starts at 7 p.m. And there are some businesses uptown as well participating. So if you have Facebook, it's going to be on there as well. But it's Thursday night virtual shopping to support our local businesses. So that's exciting.
Thank you very much. Shop local for sure. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Anything for the good of the commission? Pretty quiet. Commissioner Tuarty. Would you like to make a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Support.
Been moved and supported.
Move
All
to
in
adjourn.
favor- all in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you,
Aye.
everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Your Honor.
Night.